Hi guys, today I have with me on the podcast All Things Compounding Mr. Kulbhushan Sharma. He has been in the banking industry since start of his career. 2007-8 में उन्होंने अपनी MBA की and उसके बाद directly वो एक बैंक में as an area manager उन्होंने join किया. He was one of the youngest branch managers in his bank and has been in corporate banking since 2007-2008. Finally, in 2015, he left corporate banking and now runs his own venture, जहाँ पे ये फाइनेंशियल कंसल्टिंग सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करते हैं अपने क्लाइंट्स को, be it individual clients or companies. This guy has the most amount of knowledge when it comes to banking space and lending operations, which is why I hosted him today for this very session, jahan we'll be discussing about everything related to lending and banking. आज की conversation में हमने बहुत ही डाइवर्स टॉपिक्स पे बात की. वी स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम द बेसिक्स कि बैंक्स काम कैसे करते हैं एंड इनके ऑपरेशंस क्या होते हैं, इवेंचुअली मूविंग टू एडवांस्ड कि बैंक में मैनेजमेंट को कैसे एनालाइज करते हैं, हाउ डू फिनटेक्स एंड बैंक लुक टू कोऑपरेट इन फ्यूचर. वी ऑल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट अ लॉट ऑफ फ्रॉड्स एंड हाउ बैंक्स play with the money of our deposit holders and investors. So this was a conversation that I thoroughly enjoyed. I hope you guys do as well. So this is my conversation with Kulbhushan Sharma at All Things Compound. Hi Kulbhushan sir, thank you for joining us here on All Things Compounding. Thank you for taking out the time. Much appreciated.
Welcome, Kashish. Welcome. It's my pleasure to be here.
So, sir, my audience already knows that you are an ex-banker and you've had corporate experience. इसके साथ ही साथ अब आप अपना भी एक personal venture चला रहे हैं. So, before I dive deep into the topic, right, मुझे ये समझना था that you've been into this lending side for quite some time. Like your whole career, you've been into this. पहले आप corporate के साथ थे and now you're doing this individually. So I just wanted to understand कि difference क्या है, how has the transition been, and what are few things that sort of separates that experience from this?
Okay, all right. So talking about the difference, when I was working with different banks, I have primarily worked with ICICI Bank and IndusInd Bank, both almost you can say poles apart, because when I was with ICICI Bank, it was one of the leading banks in 2008 and 9, 7 kind of era. And then when I was at the IndusInd Bank, it was in a growing phase, right? So both very different banks when it comes down to lending. And now since last 7 years, I'm running my own venture for doing different kinds of financial consultation. We are into lending, investment, and certain other parts also. But lending is our main part of the thing that we do. So if you talk about the main difference, when I was working with ICICI, I can only go and pitch my products to the clients, right? See, this is the thing that you will be getting. Your proposal would be either rejected or approved basis ICICI's guideline. Now, what we normally do is we understand its financial, we understand his business, and then we guide them that probably for you, for your requirements, say client's requirement can be different. Like say there are certain clients who are looking for higher value. Say don't give us 1 CR, we want 2 CR irrespective of the cost. Then there are certain clients who are like, we don't want 2 CR even if you give us 1 CR, but at the best cost, best rate of interest. That is what we are looking for. So both different kind of customers, and then we take them to the right bank. Like we know the credit policies of various banks, and we have almost like 15 to 20 tie-ups with different banks and NBFCs. So we can take them to the right path. People do make certain mistakes. Say for example, this will go pretty long then. Say for example, I'm a software company, right? All my income is into white only. So if my account is with IndusInd Bank and I go back 7, 8, 10 years back, that I will normally be approaching my bank that I need some working capital infusion for my business expansion. So what will happening is IndusInd Bank would be readily giving me my loan, but at a higher rate of interest. But if I have been going through a financial advisor, he would have taken me to a bank like a Citibank or a HDFC Bank, whereby I could have saved my cost by somewhere around 200 basis points, which does make a lot of difference. So that is where our advisors work comes into place. And talking about the difference which you were asking, it is primarily initially we will be only pitching our bank's product. Now we can give them the right solution also.
So I think now you're in a position जहां आप अपने clients की और comprehensive way में help कर पा रहे हो. because
Yes,
now
yes,
you're not bound by just one bank, ICICI or IndusInd. आप
yes,
हर एक इवन एनबीएफसीज पे भी जाके आप अपने प्रोडक्ट्स पिच कर सकते हो विच एवर सूट्स देम द बेस्ट. एंड इसमें
yes,
आपके
exactly.
आपके जो इंटरेस्ट हैं दे अलाइन विद द कस्टमर, बिकॉज यहाँ कोई कमीशन वगैरह नहीं है. व्हाट इज बेस्ट फॉर देम इज व्हाट सूट्स यू ऑल्सो. एंड आई थिंक दिस इज अ वेरी गुड पोजिशन टू बी इन. एंड फाइनेंस में ये होता है देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट जब हम ऐसे फाइनेंशियल स्पेस में आ जाते हैं. एंड आई थिंक दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ बिजनेस मॉडल दैट यू हैव is best for both you as an entrepreneur and for your customers. So that's pretty awesome. But now let's go into the topic jahan pe the reason why we are here, right? You had 15 years ka experience in banking, so I want to understand. I want this to be a master class of banking jahan aap mujhe and मेरी audience को पूरा banking के बारे में समझाओ. तो first questions first, business model. एक बैंक का बिजनेस मॉडल क्या होता है? हाउ डू दे मेक मनी एंड व्हाट आर की वेरिएबल्स इन्वॉल्वड?
Okay, so this is a pretty big question. How does bank make money? If we go back almost 10-15 years back, bank का normally फंडा क्या है? They take money from you, me, different sort of public, and then what they do is they get from the corporate as well. मेरे पास पैसा आ गया, कशिश ने दिया 100 रुपया, कुलभूषण ने दिया 100 रुपया. I have 200 rupees. Now I get an application for a loan. I will judge them according to my credit policies and I will lend them. मैंने कशिश ने मेरे पास सेविंग अकाउंट रखा था, 5% पे दिया. कुलभूषण ने करंट अकाउंट खोला था, उसको कोई रिटर्न दिया, नेट 2.5%. लेंडिंग मैंने करी 8% पे, सो 5.5% विच एवर वे इज व्हाट आई एम सेविंग. So primarily for most of the banks, I would rather say most of the good banks, their income almost 70 to 80% should come from the lending activities. Whereby in last 10 odd years, we have seen a couple of banks which are more focused on fee income, right? They want to get fee from different kind of other avenues like insurance, BHK, from wealth products. But primarily a bank income 80% should come from the lending activities, right? That is where bank strength comes into play. So बैंक का business यही है. And then most of them tell that कि banking का business कैसा होता है. I tell them banking का business is more about the liabilities. See, if you are giving me money, that is my liability. So जितनी मेरी lower cost होगी, like every other business, say even if I am manufacturing a shoe, my revenue depends on the my cost of shoe, right? So in banks, I should be lowering my cost of deposit, right? Kashish ने जो deposit diya, Kulshan ने the third customer who is giving a fixed deposit. So for best part of revenue, I should be acquiring more of a CASA, which we normally term is a current account balance and a saving account balance. So current account, saving account balance का जितना mixture अच्छा रहेगा, उतना ही strong मेरी कॉस्टिंग होगी, उतनी ही कम मेरी कॉस्टिंग होगी. जितनी कम मेरी कॉस्टिंग होगी, उतना ही स्ट्रॉन्ग पोजीशन में आई वुड बी इन अ पोजीशन टू लेंड इट टू द बेस्ट ऑफ कस्टमर्स, राइट? If I have the costing of say 4%, the best customer would for sure be asking for the best rate of interest, right? So उसको केटर करने के लिए मेरे पास बेस्ट कॉस्टिंग होनी चाहिए. बेस्ट कॉस्टिंग तभी होगी जब मेरे पास बेस्ट कासा रेशियो होगा. एंड दिस इज प्रिसाइसली probably I would say 70% of banking. That is why probably banks like SDFC and Kotak are doing pretty well. Why? Because their CASA ratio is extremely well. And why small banks like IDFCs and other banks are struggling? Because their CASA ratio is pretty poor. CASA ratio poor hogi, their cost of deposit would be pretty high, say in tune of 6%. 6% आपकी अपनी cost होगी, 2% your infrastructure, your employee cost. So you will be actually starting from 8%. So definitely when SDFC bank can lend at 6.5 or 7%, and if you're lending at 9%, so for sure your customer would be subprime. And that is where the whole games comes around, that probably SDFC and Kotak have the strongest retail book, and the other institutions are not having very strong books, and their NPAs are bleeding also. So a virtual chain, it is all a function of CASA. The better your CASA is, and then the better your cost of fund is, because CASA में अब बहुत changes आ गए हैं since RBI has deregulated the saving bank rate of interest. So it has changed. So it is primarily pure cost of funds. जितना कम होगा उतना ही अच्छे तरीके से आप lend कर पाओगे to the best clients.
Okay.
And if we go a little deep, अलग-अलग बैंक की niche की बात करें, best banks are आज की डेट में बात करें, talking about this point of time, we are sitting on 6th of October. The loan against property rate, which is normally you can say best as of now is provided by Citibank, which is lending close to 6.7%. Why? Because most of the MNC banks, if you take Standard Chartered, HSBC, Deutsche Bank, or a Citibank, they are primarily a CASA driven bank. आप उनकी FD करने जाओगे, they will be only offering you 3.5% rate of interest. Whereas even our strongest bank like HDFCs and Kotak, they're offering you 5.5 at least. CASA ratio of Citibank is, I guess, close to 60 odd percent, and 60% CASA में जहां 40% डिपॉजिट भी है, उसका रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट भी 3.5-4% के आसपास ही है. दैट इज वाई देयर कॉस्टिंग इज द लीस्ट, राइट. लीस्ट कॉस्टिंग है, तो वो सबसे अच्छे कस्टमर को, यू कैन प्रॉब्ली इन आवर लैंग्वेज से कि वो क्रीम की भी क्रीम लेके जाते हैं. सो सिटी बैंक, though they are only present in say very selected cities, but if you in terms of lending they are the best. But if you talk about the reach, Citibank is not the best. If you even talk about Delhi NCR, Delhi के भी बहुत selected areas में वो lending करते हैं. They have like areas identified, like they would not be lending into Rohini, they would not be lending into Ghaziabad. So they have their own structure. They choose their own clients. So next comes in with the increase of 20-30 bips is SGFCs and Kotak. That is where almost 50-60% of lending of money is happening, and they are pretty much spread across the country also. I think SGFC at this point of time has close to 5,500 branches, and Kotak would also be having somewhere close to 3,500 branches. Each bhi hai, they have the costing also. So next in line after Citibank is SDFC and Kotak. They are lending to, I can very easily say, the best customers of present across the country. So Citibank, SDFC and Kotak. Next in line, the smaller banks, like smaller or upcoming banks like IndusInd Bank or IDFCs, जिनकी कासा रेशियो में शायद इंडसइंड की बात करोगे, दे आर, इट इज प्रीटी गुड, बट देन कासा रेशियो अच्छा होने का मतलब ये भी है बिकॉज दे आर गेटिंग ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ डिपॉजिट इनटू देयर सेविंग अकाउंट. अब सेविंग बैंक इंडसइंड में 6% मिल रहा है, एसडीएफसी की एफडी में भी 5.5 मिल रहा है. सो दैट इज व्हाई आई से दैट प्रॉब्ली आज की डेट में वी शुड रादर मूव ऑन फ्रॉम कासा रेशियो टू द कॉस्ट ऑफ फंड प्रिंसिपल. कासा रेशियो अब आप इंडसइंड की देखोगे बहुत अच्छी हो चुकी हुई है. प्रॉब्ली कासा रेशियो आप कोटक की देखोगे विद कंपैरिजन टू SDFC, Kotak is, I guess, 20% better. But if you talk about cost of fund, SDFC is lower than Kotak, right? So we should more move towards cost of liabilities or cost of funds. And then comes down to the NBFCs, जिनकी cost of fund सबसे ज्यादा है, तो वो अपना अपना niche ढूंढ लेते हैं. I will be funding more to people who are not strong in books, business. अच्छा है, somebody like if you go 3-4 years back, Cholamandalam and when AU was not a bank, right? AU Finance was a NBFC. Aavas is still NBFC. So those kind of customers were lending to customers who were not having even books also, not filing ITR. We will be lending it to you. You have a small kirana store, we will be lending it to you. So subprime category. So it all boils down to your cost of fund. Cost of fund अच्छा है, you can go and choose your best customer. If your cost of fund is not good, but you are into business of lending, you need to identify a customer, and that customer for sure would be not that much credit worthy, which probably SDFC Bank is getting. So यही सारा फंडा है बैंकिंग का.
Okay, so what you trying to say is कि सबसे ज्यादा important तो भाई cost of funds ही है, because जितना कम cost of funds आप उतना ही prime customers को दे पाओगे, and banking is all about giving to most prime customers, ताकि अगर आप सब prime को अगर दे रहे हो, you will unnecessarily be also assuming a lot of risk, which is not good for a bank, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So आपने ये बता दिया कि कैसे एक पूरी हायरार्की चल रही है. सिटी बैंक्स, देन एचडीएफसी आ गए हमारे, देन हमारे छोटे छोटे बैंक्स आ गए, देन फाइनली कम टू एनबीएफसीज, राइट? तो मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ लेंडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस. बैंक्स होते हैं, स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक्स होते हैं, देन एनबीएफसीज हो गए, एज यू मेंशनड, माइक्रो फाइनेंस बैंक्स होते हैं. ये बहुत अलग अलग टाइप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं. जस्ट हेल्प मी अंडरस्टैंड, बिकॉज आई जस्ट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड कि इतनी ज्यादा वैरायटी होगी, इसमें से कौन सा क्या करता है, कैसे करता है, क्या कस्टमर्स हैं उनके, and how do I approach this whole banking system when it comes to segregating them basis of their operations?
Okay, so let's take it 3 example: commercial banks, then small finance bank, and then the NBFCs. 3 major kind of lending institutions. So commercial banks are SDFCs, Kotak, ICICI, Axis Bank, all into having good reach, giving credit according to their credit profile. Second would come be a small finance bank. Small finance bank or microfinance, they are the one who are actually coming up from the rural market, like AUs, Bandhan Bank. They are the banks who were actually started from financing very small customers, like किसी गांव में है, वहां पर उनको 1 2 3 लाख की रिक्वायरमेंट थी फॉर फंडिंग देयर बिजनेस, और स्मॉल किराना स्टोर और वेरी स्मॉल पोल्ट्री फार्म काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. तो दे डेवलप्ड फ्रॉम देयर. हाउ दे डेवलप्ड, वहां पर लेंडिंग बहुत हाई होती थी. इफ यू गो बैक टू द सिस्टम ऑफ ओल्ड सिस्टम ऑफ लेंडिंग इन वेरियस विलेजेस, वो लोग सब लोग वहां के साहूकार से पैसा लेते थे, समटाइम्स इन द ट्यून ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 100-150% फॉर द ईयर ऑल्सो. सो दैट इज वाई स्मॉल फाइनेंस थॉट कि यहाँ पर एक अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी है वेयर बाय वी कैन ग्रो. दे स्टार्टेड लैंडिंग जहां पर इनिशियल हाई साइज होता था, मतलब हाई आरओआई होता था 100% का. दे स्टार्टेड लैंडिंग एट समवेयर क्लोज टू 40-35%. इनिशियल स्टार्टिंग ऐसे ही हुई थी. सो अच्छे मार्जिन पे लैंड करते थे. सो इवन इफ 1 2
sorry
3
to interrupt you,
3
sir, but
clients default.
सर 40 to 30% माने 40 to 30% के ब्याज पे लोन दिया जाता था इन सब कस्टमर्स को.
Yes. In the starting time, now RBI has put up a cap, but when they started, they were lending somewhere close to 35-40%. Right now, RBI has put up a cap that I guess that cap is 25%. That you cannot be lending beyond 25%. But even if you look at this point of time, that somebody is lending at a 22, 23, 24% per annum, and then 1, 2, 3% of NPAs are happening, they're still in a very strong position to lend to various institutions, because वहां पर और कोई present नहीं है. Nobody else is lending there. So if I am the one, say like everyone talks about, if you want to lend in Rajasthan, go and talk to Mr. Agrawal of AU Finance Bank, right? So राजस्थान में वो इतने टाइम से काम कर रहे हैं, उनको हर एक टेरिटरी में पता है कि यहाँ पर रणथंभौर में क्या बिजनेस चलता है, या फिर अदर उदयपुर की साइड में जाओगे कौन सा बिजनेस चलता है. सो दे नो मोर अबाउट देयर स्पेसिफिक स्टेट और स्पेसिफिक कैटेगरीज. दैट इज वेयर आई थिंक अगर हम लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टिंग की बात करें, तो आई एम कॉन्फिडेंट दैट प्रॉब्ली एयू फाइनेंस will be doing good in small say next 1 to 3 years. बट वो एयू फाइनेंस बैंक राजस्थान से यूपी में कैसे काम करेगा, यूपी से बिहार में कैसे काम करेगा, इज अ स्टोरी व्हिच वी हैव टू सी. राइट, कमर्शियल बैंक जो हर जगह प्रेजेंट है, उनका पाई ऑलमोस्ट सेटअप है. बट एयू बैंक जिसने लेंडिंग हायर कॉस्ट पे करनी है, आई थिंक उनका नेक्स्ट लेवल का चैलेंज अभी आएगा, एंड वी आर येट टू सी द अनफोल्डिंग ऑफ द स्टोरी ऑफ एयू बैंक्स और बंधन बैंक्स.
एंड सर व्हाट अबाउट एनबीएफसीज, स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक्स भी हो गए?
यस, हाँ. So NBFCs is something which I forgot. And the NBFCs most of the time are fighting against the you can say tier not exactly tier 2 banks, but banks like IndusInd Bank, right? IndusInd Yes Bank की वो जो पाई होता है, उसी के अंदर एक छोटा सा पाई डेवलप कर लेते हैं. Most of the NBFCs are trying to fund to clients which are not being funded by HDFCs and Kotak, have certain discrepancies. फंडिंग के लिए से इनिशियली आई टोल्ड यू देयर आर टू इंपॉर्टेंट प्रिंसिपल. मेजरली इज होम लोन मार्केट और लैप मार्केट, लोन अगेंस्ट प्रॉपर्टी मार्केट. वन इज फाइनेंशियल, अदर वन इज प्रॉपर्टी. सो प्रॉपर्टी में बहुत सारी कॉल्स होती हैं, लाइक से इफ यू टॉक अबाउट इंडस्ट्रियल प्रॉपर्टी, सिटी बैंक इज नॉट लेंडिंग अगेंस्ट इंडस्ट्रियल प्रॉपर्टी. देन देयर आर सर्टेन बैंक्स व्हिच आर नॉट इवन लेंडिंग टू सिटी बैंक इज नॉट इवन लेंडिंग टू कमर्शियल प्रॉपर्टीज आल्सो, राइट? एचडीएफसी, कोटक फिर वो सब सारी लेंडिंग शुरू कर देते हैं. देन प्रॉपर्टी में फिर बहुत सारी चीजें आ जाती हैं, लाइक देयर आर एमलगेटेड प्लॉट्स. That plots were allotted from the authority of 100 square yard each. Builder ने आके दोनों को 100 को combine किया, then it developed a 200 square yard. Then they are subdivided की allotment 200 की हुई थी, but then division of 100 square yards, and then so they take lot of calls कि property में division है या property की extension बनी हुई है. They are allowed is 100 square yard, but you have built up a property of 125 square yards. बाहर छज्जे निकाल दिए. They have developed a certain extension also. So they try and find different niche. If you talk about say Delhi, probably Tata would be giving you approval of 135%, PNB would be giving you approval of 125%, and then there are different products available. Like banking is a product which is offered by a couple of banks also. But what they do is, say even if your average balance is 1 lakh, they would be treating you as a they will be treating you for an income of 50,000 rupees. वहां पर एनबीएफसीज क्या करेंगी, इफ योर एवरेज बैंक बैलेंस इज 1 lakh, दे वुड बी ट्रीटिंग योर इनकम एज आल्सो 1 lakh फॉर अ मंथ. सो योर क्यूमुलेटिव, इवन इफ यू हैव फाइल्ड द आईटीआर फॉर 4 lakhs, we will be treating Kashish as a customer who is earning 12 lakh rupees, because 1 lakh average balance is being maintained into his account. So they try and different models around, and they try and fight a pie of IndusInd, Yes, smaller banks.
So
तब
sir,
वहां पर ही उनकी fight चलती है. That is why they fight.
when they do this, I'm assuming इस वजह से NBFCs assume a bit more risk compared to, let's say, HDFCs of the world, because they're very conservative when it comes to doing the customer profiling of whomsoever they're lending, right?
120%. They are taking more risk than the banks of
Okay.
SGS and Kotak, because already they are taking not even they are taking calls not even on the financial, they are also taking call on the property profile
Property.
also.
परफेक्ट. सो सर,
Yes.
अब मुझे ये समझना है कि नाउ यू हैव डिवाइडेड अपना पूरा बैंकिंग का सिस्टम इनटू 3 पार्ट्स. टॉप टियर अपनी क्रीम हो गई, देन हमारे बिल्कुल लोअर ऑफ द पिरामिड में हमारे सारे स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक्स एंड अपने माइक्रो फाइनेंस इंस्टीट्यूशंस आ गए, एंड बीच में where we have Yes Banks, IndusInd, and all the NBFCs of the world, they are taking the share. Out of these three,
NBFC also, they are different kind of NBFC. If you talk about Tatas and PNB Housing, they are the one who are actually fighting with IndusInd Bank, but there are lot many more NBFCs which are actually in a way fighting with smaller banks also. I
okay,
know NBFCs which are lending at 14, 15, 16%, which probably some of the small finance banks are not lending. So NBFCs, we have thousands of NBFCs, but we only talk about the major ones, the probably listed one like Tata's and PNB Housing, those
okay.
kind of ones.
So NBFCs basically हर एक जगह पे वो अपनी टांग अड़ाने की कोशिश कर रही हैं, because they can focus
Yes.
on a specific niche, and वो वहीं पे टारगेट
Yes.
करती हैं, trying to take even some from HDFCs and Kotaks and from small finance banks, right?
No, I don't think so. They would be ever be in a position to fight with SDFC, because the cost of funding of SDFC. Say even if I am a good customer, or say Kashish is a good customer, Kashish has an option. PNB would also be funding to him, PNB Housing, and then SDFC would also be funding. But SDFC would be funding at 7%. PNB would be funding at 8.5%. So why would I go to PNB Housing? I would definitely go into SDFC. So no point that they will be fighting with SDFCs. Only when the customer is not very aware, and they get a chance to onboard such kind of customer. But with such competition, I think chances of such customers are only 1, 2, 3, 4%.
Makes sense. तो is it safe for me to say कि जो टॉप टियर बैंक्स हैं, अगेन जस्ट टेकिंग एग्जांपल्स ऑफ HDFC एंड कोटक, उनकी रीच काफी लिमिट हो जाती है कंपेयर टू NBFCs जो बहुत वाइड पॉपुलेशन को केटर करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Is it right for me to say this?
Not exactly reach. If you talk about reach, lending, say a customer which will be taking 5 CR loan would be a quality customer. Small finance bank which are lending a small ticket size 2 to 3 lakh, उनकी ticket size बहुत छोटी होगी. Even if SDFC take 2 ticket size 10 CR, they need to develop so many cases to come up to a level of 10 CR, right?
Okay.
So I think reach का issue नहीं है. Issue is how much you are able to lend. And then I think 60% of our market is developed enough, our businessmen are developed enough to fit into profile of most of the banks. So NBFC's की reach, I will rather say NBFC का niche is rather very small with comparison to banks. Niche की बात करें तो niche बहुत छोटा है, SDFC का niche बहुत बड़ा है, and that is why it keeps on growing its credit growth. I think every year on year for both the banks it is approximately 14-15% year on year.
Okay, and ठीक है. And what about the credit growth of small finance and NBFCs? Has it grown at faster rate than the universal banks? या फिर उनकी लाइन में?
Because they have come up late. If you talk about Bandhan Bank and certain other companies also, new age banks, they are growing at a faster rate because their base was very small, right?
Okay.
Once they have established, you can take example of PNB's, Tata's. Now I think their growth rate is not with consistent to what they used to be earlier also. Okay. I think now they would be growing somewhere close to 10-12% only. I'm not very sure about the numbers, but I am pretty sure because they have segregated the portfolio. I have seen them growing PNB almost, I guess, 2018 when the old DHFL fiasco was going on, and there were rumors that DHFL would be taking over PNB. There were some conflict. It almost stopped lending in retail terms. Okay. It was present. Nobody was officially saying that we are not lending. But if you talk about, they were receiving 100 files and lending only to 5 files, right? So that was their approval rate. That is how banks normally behave in public. that वो upfront आपको मना नहीं करेंगे because they are a financial institution, but they will try to do, they will try and find fault in your financials, your business, and that's how they start to
Okay,
get your files.
fine. This makes sense, and I think that's sort of sums up कैसे काफी ज्यादा एनबीएफसी के ऑपरेशंस होते हैं. बट नाउ आई वांट टू फोकस ऑन विच ऑफ दीज कैटेगरीज यू थिंक इज मोस्ट प्रॉफिटेबल, बिकॉज जितना मेरे को समझ आया कि यू मेंशन्ड हाउ स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक्स वर केटरिंग टू बॉटम ऑफ द पिरामिड. वहां पे अगर वो लेंड ही 40 लाइक पहले 40% तक करते थे एंड अब अगर 24% पे कर रहे हैं, दे विल हैव द लार्जेस्ट स्प्रेड्स. सो डज दिस मीन दैट दे आर द
Yes.
मोस्ट प्रॉफिटेबल ऑफ ऑल आउट देयर?
Not exactly. Once again, taking the same example, say, let's take a small example. SGFC is able to lend 10 CR, right? For 10 CR, their margin is somewhere close to 4%, right? 4% is approximately 40 lakh rupees, right? Yes, 40 lakh rupees. To earn 40 lakh rupees, first thing, small finance bank would be lending to very, very small tickets, right? 4 lakh, 5 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh. So say for example they are able to lend almost like 1 cr, and this much difference would always be there. If a small finance bank is able to lend 1 cr, SGFC would probably lend 10, 15, 20, 25 crores. Itna times का difference रहता ही है. Now they have lent 1 cr. Now let's take an example कि उनका जो interest का gap है, that is somewhere close to 10%. So that is also 10 lakh rupees. So 10 lakh and 40 lakh. Now the probability of default in this 20 customers is much more than probability of default of 2 good customers which SDFC has onboarded. So spread जरूर ज्यादा हो सकता है, but the kind of customer they are onboarding, the ticket size, it makes it altogether very different. Small finance bank would be having NPA ratio, GNPA ratio of somewhere close to 6-7%. I think most of the small finance bank at post COVID are somewhere close to this ratio only. Net NPA would be less, but I guess AU Finance Bank का भी इतना है, 5-5.5% के आसपास का है. So their NPAs are more, and then good banks, because they have onboarded good customers in the time of crisis, they sail through because the customer were good. If you also take down the moratorium numbers of these small NBFCs or small finance bank, but is entirely different from the good banks. Like if you take the data of HDFC Bank, from 3rd to 4th month, their good customers started repaying their EMIs. And similarly, if you take down the data of small finance banks and NBFCs, the customer almost pushed it towards the September. कि अगस्त तक का गवर्नमेंट अलाउ किया, हम नहीं पे करेंगे, उसके बाद पे करेंगे. Just because the quality of customer they have onboarded, they were not having good cash flows. That's why they come down to you. और वहां पर आया तो वो सब चीजें फेस करनी पड़ी. In time of crisis, strong banks would always go through.
Okay, so the answer to this profitability वाला point is not straightforward, because small finance banks में अगर margin ज़्यादा है तो default का वो भी scope भी बहुत ज़्यादा है, which can hurt their profitability again. So it's a very dynamic situation.
Yes, scale is also very different.
Okay, scale is also different. Yes, makes sense.
Very important part is scale. Yeah, if you talk about India also, I think most of the lending is happening in the major cities, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, major industrial hubs. वहां पर lending हो रही है, and वहां पर lending होती है. If you talk about the properties values of these cities, a normal property industrial plot would be somewhere close to 3, 4, 5 crores, right? So that would be the size of funding that these banks, an average ticket size would be. I think average ticket size for a lap in the Delhi market is somewhere close to 1.5 to 2 crores. While same, a very good bank, AU Bank, with mastery in lending to Rajasthan market, I think their average ticket size is somewhere close to 4 to 5 lakhs. So it is almost like 40 times difference. And then multiple problems of NPAs and all those things go along. Strong banks would always be strong in multiple parameters.
Okay, ठीक है. Now this sums up a lot of it. Now I'd like to understand. ठीक है, अब हमें banking landscape समझ आ गया. We've got
Yes.
we've understood how can we divide the whole banking landscape, and कौन से types of banks and lending operations किन customers को cater करते हैं. Now what I want to understand it कि मैं investor हूँ, business समझ आ गया. मैं एज एन इन्वेस्टर ऐसे कौन से 4-5 बिजनेस और परफॉर्मेंस मैट्रिक्स पे नजर रखूं, प्राइमरीली नॉट गोइंग टू डीप, बट प्राइमरीली मैं किस पे फोकस करूं फॉर मी टू डेवलप अ बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग of a lending operation before making an investment decision?
Okay, so you're talking about the banks only, right? Banks and financial institutions. Okay, so one of the very important ratio would be from the ratio which we started off, cost of funds. Matlab, I think if you can dig a little deeper, CASA ratio would be fine for somebody who is very layman. He can go very easily and check CASA ratio. But for pros like you, they should go a little deeper and check cost of funds. Cost of fund में थोड़ा difference हो सकता है. When you want to choose between an ICICI Bank, SGFC, and Kotak, that is where cost of fund would definitely come into place. So cost of fund in place of CASA, return on equity for sure. What is the return on equity that your financial institution is giving to you? Return on asset is very, very important. I think anybody which is giving you any bank or financial institution which is giving you a return on asset of more than say 1.25 1.5% is a good enough bank. Anything less than that, you are struggling. And for sure, you will find the entire list of PSUs having a return on asset less than 1.5. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm not looked into numbers, but very sure. The net NPA part actually reflects upon how good the management is, how good you are able to identify your customers, whether your credit policies are right or wrong. Say two same banks with almost similar ROE, similar ROA, but for a bank, net NPA is close to 3%. For a bank, net NPA is close to 1%. Very easy choice. I will go towards the bank जिसकी net NPA में volatility भी नहीं है. Volatility is also something which you should go. आप कहीं भी जाएंगे आपको वहां पे ग्राफ दिख जाएगा. कभी भी ग्राफ में ऐसा मतलब नहीं दिखना चाहिए नॉर्मली आपको कि एक टाइम पे 5% था, फिर 1% and then 3%. So average is 2%. That kind of stuff. It should be stable enough. Management should be prudent enough to identify कि हमारा कहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है. I have seen in my experience also, जिस segment खराब होना शुरू होता है, management stop lending to that department. I have seen SGFC, I think in the year of 2016, when lot many defaults were happening on the jewelry side, gold side. So they stopped lending to gold side of people. In fact, I have also seen SGFC, such a strong bank, they will start pushing their gold clients out. That they are forcing that probably jewelry में future अच्छा नहीं है. They will start their gold clients out. उनकी limit renew नहीं करते थे. We start getting queries from the customer कि sir SGFC not renewing my limit. I want to shift to some other bank. Take me somewhere. So otherwise, SGFC is one of those banks whereby you cannot take the customer out. It is a very famous line in our lending industry कि SGFC से अगर balance transfer का case आया है, do not take it, because no matter whatever you do, at the end SGFC would hold to its client. आप SGFC में 8 की lending है, you go to a different bank, get them an offer of 7%, SGFC at end point would get a 6.7%. He will not let his client go. That is how strong SGFC is. And then when we see certain clients getting pushed out from SGFC, we know that these are the clients. This is the segment that probably SGFC is trying to push out.
And मतलब वहाँ कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, वहाँ कुछ तो risk है, which is why HDFC is pushing them.
Yes. Okay. So this, and then credit adequacy ratio is a very small thing which probably everybody would be looking into. Probably advanced growth is a very important principle, parameter that you should go. If a bank is not growing at somewhere close to 12, 13, 14% year on year, then it is a problem. Because as I said, good banks, 80% of their income coming from the lending activities. So if your lending activities, if your say that is a core business, is not growing by 12, 13, 14%, I think you're not doing a good job. So probably it would be cost of funds, ROE, ROA, net NPA, and then your advanced growth is one of the these are 5. Then 6 would be probably a margin, would be a very important principle कि आप किस margin में lend करते हो. Probably I know you would be covering up a topic of different topic जहां पर हम margins की बात छेड़ेंगे, and I will be telling you a very recent example कि कुछ बैंक ने margins कम करके अपना product mix change करने की कोशिश करी थी. So
margins in the that means spread, the spread between the rate at which you lend and the rate at which you borrow.
And the rate which you're paying to your depositors. Yes.
Okay. So let's just move ahead on this tangent only. What's the example that you were giving, and यहाँ पे क्या case हुआ था?
Okay, so I think if you go down and look towards a number of IDFC bank, you have seen that probably IDFC bank ka PCR is not good. Their provision coverage ratio is somewhere close to 50% odd. because but I have seen that, this is my observation, certain banks are more for the shareholders, right? They try to portray a very good picture so that their share prices rises, right? I have seen certain not very good practices followed by certain banks, but not saying that IDFC has done this, but we came to know that probably IDFC was very aggressive in corporate lending. So we got the news that probably one of the corporate portfolio was pretty sure to be going towards NPA way, right? So what they tried to did, while cost of fund of IDFC Bank is almost like, I guess, 150 basis point more than other banks, good banks. So they will not be able to match up with SDFC and Kotak with the same margin, right? अब सेम मार्जिन को लेंड तो नहीं कर सकते. So last year what they did was their MD Vaidyanathan, they went berserk on retail lending. October was their best ever month. November once again beating October. December once again. January once again. February and March. 6 months they were breaking their previous month all-time record. Right?
During the pandemic.
They went berserk. With 2021, yes, they went with a mad spree into retail lending, onboarding every customer at a good rate of interest. Right? Previously, the difference between an SDFC and IDFC would at least be, you can say, close to similar 170, 180 basis point. But then they actually dropped down to the margin of 25 to 50 basis point only. 1.25% का अपना मार्जिन कम कर लिया था उन्होंने, just because they were able to see कि मेरा एक 500 करोड़ का पोर्टफोलियो खराब हो रहा है, I have to onboard 1,000 crores in retail banking. That's why they went berserk. They increased their DSA commissions, they decreased their processing fees. They did everything possible in this world so that their books get settled, because they were pretty sure कि जैसे ही ये I guess मार्च में ही वो ओपन हुआ था, RBI was not even allowing banks to showcase their NPA numbers. Before that, they almost settled down their NPA game, and they actually went berserk with the retail lending spree. The retail lending for IDFC means they have a capping of, I guess, 7.5 crores. So all ticket size between 1 to 7.5 crores, they were clocking every month a new high. October, November, December, January, February, March, and that's how they settled their books. So this is the example of IDFC Bank.
So doing this, क्या बोलते, this sort of manage their NPS बाहर नहीं आने दिए, अपनी asset book को भी बढ़ा लिया, but at the same time I'm assuming इस वजह से उनका return on asset को impact आया होगा, because now the profitability would be impacted. And वो कब reflect हुआ? Did it reflected in which quarter?
I think because most of the clients are very recently onboarded, I think it should be out in this first quarter result.
Okay.
First quarter result, I think it should be reflecting, because it was very evident why that thing was happening. So similarly, I was covering out PCR. If you also look into IndusInd Bank and RBL, I normally term all these Yes Bank, IndusInd, RBL, IDFCs, new age banks, new banks probably into same league, because I think they are more about publishing their numbers for shareholders so that everybody thinks they are good. But I think they are not that good. They try to portray their next SGFCs. I think highly unlikely that they would be next SGFCs.
Makes sense. So, Kulbhushan, I want you to do me a favor and explain to my audience, right, कि कैसे these banks, as you mentioned, play with their PCR number to give a very lofty and give a very flowery image of the banking financials. But otherwise, ऐसा नहीं है, because under providing through PCR to showing a lower PCR has a future impact. So I just want you to explain in a more simpler words ki how does this happen?
Okay, so to all the audience who are watching this, PCR is your provisioning coverage ratio. You know that probably आपने अपना GNP का डेटा देखा, आपने इंडस्ट्री अपना देखा कहां पर आपने लेंडिंग कर रखी है. You can probably take a calculated risk that कि मेरा 100 करोड़ का पोर्टफोलियो खराब होने वाला है. Now what can do? Banks like SGFC करता है, 100 करोड़ का खराब होने वाला है, I am गेटिंग इनफ प्रॉफिट, मैंने 100 करोड़ का 90 करोड़ हटा के अलग रख दिया. ये खराब भी हो गया, मैंने अपना एक्सपेंस बुक कर लिया, खराब हो गया तो मेरे बैंक में कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. आई एम स्टिल गेटिंग ईयर ऑन ईयर, क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर ग्रोथ, तो मैं अपनी प्रोविजनिंग अच्छे से कर दूंगा. खराब होगा, बट आई एम like a good businessman, I have kept my reserves for handling that.
So basically profit में से 90 करोड़ एक तरह से एक्सपेंस कर दिया आज ही, to show कि हाँ
आज ही कर दिया.
Okay.
तो कल को अगर 90 करोड़ की जरूरत पड़ी तो मैंने पहले ही उसको बुक कर रखा हुआ है, कल को अगर जरूरत नहीं पड़ी तो आई कैन टेक इट बैक ऑल्सो,
एंड
राइट?
इसका रेपरकशन
तो
क्या होता है?
no repercussion. You're actually see, ultimately what you need to project is that SDFC Bank over last quarter has CASA has grown by 12%, profit has grown by 13%, 14%, whatever the XYZ number is. You need to showcase the growth, but not at the cost of not covering your potential losses. So what good banks do, they do a good PCR. Coverage ratio is somewhere close to 75, 80, 90%. I think SGFC and Kotak somewhere are close to 90%. But the banks like RBL, IDFC, IndusInd, their PCR are somewhere close to 50%. Now, what you can say that we are confident कि हमारा इतना खराब होगा ही नहीं. We see that 100 crore is into bucket, but I think we will be able to recover it. But they try to do वहां पर profit extra दिखा देते हैं कि grown by 24%, whereby they should have at least, I think the benchmark should be 75% of coverage ratio, which these banks do not do. What they try to do, they portray a very good image, and every quarterly result I have seen most of the banks, these small banks, running after people's money. I was a banker. I know we were getting calls from the top management. You go out and chase money for the last day. Like say on 30th of June, 1st July को picture publish होनी है. So you ask each and every your customer कि सर आपके पास जितना भी excess fund पड़ा है आप हमें एक दिन के लिए दे दीजिए, because बैंक ने क्या करना है, बैंक ने अपने 30th जून को बैलेंस पब्लिश करना है. सो अगर उस दिन यू हैव इंक्रीज योर बुक बाय 15%, वो 15% एक्सेस आपको दिख जाएगा.
ओके,
दैट्स हाउ दे ट्राई एंड डू, and they have tried to play when RBI has given that mandate of deregulation of saving bank interest, they have used that tool also to for shareholders to probably fool them.
ओके. सो इसी पॉइंट पे वेयर यू वर सेइंग कि हाउ बैंकर्स at the end of the month are sort of forced to chase that growth number कि target meet हो जाए. This is also this also sort of results in a lot of banking fiascos that we as Indian population has witnessed. पिछले decade में ही we've had ILFS, DHFL, then अपना Yes Bank का भी हुआ, then ICICI में चंदा कोचर का हुआ, and ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस का भी हम बोझ उठाते आ रहे हैं, जो हमारे अपना पूरा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेक्टर लेंडिंग एंड रियल्टी सेक्टर लेंडिंग का जितना भी कचरा था वो सारा का सारा इस डेकेड में हमने देखा है. सो व्हाट आई वांट टू डू एज एन इन्वेस्टर इज कि भाई मेरे को बच के रहना है. आई डू नॉट वांट टू बी इन अ बैंक जिसने इतनी कचरा लेंडिंग की है कि मेरा पैसा ही ना बने. सो हाउ डू आई अवॉइड दैट? हाउ डू आई keep my distance from such frauds happening? What should I look out for?
See, if you talk about frauds, in last 10 years, people try and play with different rules, and then RBI would come up with tighten the screws or around all those things. I guess couple of days back you have taken and you have posted something about evergreening. So evergreening is something which I have seen with me and my colleagues happening in different banks. I will not name the bank, but there was a regional head in one of the bank which actually failed and was taken over by some other bank. So what happened was it was a gold loan case. From last 2 years it was an NPA. Every quarter end it was given a TOD or an additional loan so that it can come out of the bucket of NPA, right? So almost 7-8 quarters has happened. It was given an additional loan just to cover up that NPA. And when the regional head in the last, after 2 years, after 8 wrong top-ups given to that customer, declined that I would not be signing this. He actually told me, he came to me on, I guess, 31st of December wala quarter. He was a very close friend of mine. He has seen that problem. His zonal head came up with a box with a suitcase saying that this is gold, you are actually lending against gold, you go and sign. He wanted to check कि सर आप मेरे को गोल्ड दिखा तो दो, इस सूटकेस में इतना है. कहता है इसको देखने की जरूरत नहीं है, मैंने देख लिया. He sealed that suitcase and he never knew कि इसके अंदर ईंट पड़ी हुई है, इसके अंदर पत्थर पड़े हुए हैं, क्या पड़ा हुआ है. Only wait किया, उसको बता दिया कि इतना गोल्ड है. He was forced to sign and that's how it happened. And then if this was happening in a city like Delhi with zonal head and regional head, it was pretty sure कि उस बैंक का क्या होने वाला है. and 2 years down the line, everybody has seen what happened to that bank. I would not be able to name that bank,
नहीं नहीं
but these are the kind of things which were happening in banking industry, evergreening. And then I was talking about RBI ने जैसे ही वो rule दिया that probably you can deregulate your saving bank interest. Certain bank, what they try to do, they try and got a government deposit. Say for example, any big government agency, say ICMR, ICHR, had a fund of say 1,000 crores. So what I will do, सर आपने FD में रखना है 8% पे, मैं आपको 8% सेविंग बैंक में दे देता हूँ. You give me this 1,000 crores. So 1,000 crores onboarded. Then what I will do, I will open up at least 1 lakh account of zero balance. You go find anybody, take his Aadhaar, PAN, and open the account. So I have opened 1 lakh zero balance account. कुछ भी बैलेंस नहीं है उसके अंदर. So ultimately पिक्चर क्या पब्लिश होगी, that incremental new bank open accounts balance is 1,000 crores, 1 lakh account. So an average balance is 1 lakh rupees. So everybody would be like, sir, this bank is onboarding very good clients, HNI clients. Everybody's HNI average balance is like 1-2 lakh rupees. So they were portraying this kind of image, and I have seen this practically happening with some banks, which probably I would have named 15 minutes back, but now I would
But
not be
sir,
able to do.
यही है ना कि आप तो बैंकर थे, यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस इट पर्सनली बीइंग
Yes.
इनसाइड द बैंकिंग लैंडस्केप, एंड अगर आप इन्वेस्टर होते यू वुडंट हैव इन्वेस्टेड इन दोस बैंक्स नोइंग कि वहां पे लेंडिंग प्रैक्टिसेस में गड़बड़ चल रही है. आई एम एन आउटसाइडर हियर.
Yes.
मेरे को कैसे पता लगेगा कि भाई मैं कैसे बच के रहूं? आई डोंट हैव कुलभूषण सर जैसे लोग जो मुझे बता सकें कि ऐसा हो रहा है. मैं बाहर का बंदा हूं, मैं कैसे पता लगाऊं, या फिर मैं कैसे अवॉइड करूं ऐसी चीजों से?
Just close your eyes and bet on the best bank of the industry. Everybody knows their name are SDFC and Kotak. Close your eyes. Do not look anywhere else. Their credit growth is pretty healthy. Their CASA book is pretty healthy. And I guess by experience also, I guess most of us know that probably SDFC, Axis, these at least four major banks, ICICI and Kotak, are banks, right? So probability of defaulting of these four banks are very minimal, but everybody knows when we go to the next level banks, the RBS, the IndusInd, the Yes Bank, I think most of you would be able to give this feedback whenever you enter that branch, they would be chasing you for the fee income. Sir, please give us an insurance. Sir, please give us invest in mutual funds. And the kind of product they will be offering you are not very good. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to book a fee income, not line, not taking this to the account so that they do lending activity properly. All they want is, sir, you please come to us, you give us 1 lakh rupees, I want 10,000 fees from you. So practical experience, just go and try and look to four major banks. India has four banks. I have given 5 ratios. Those 5 ratios comparison kar lo. Even if you go wrong, at least you do not run into the risk of losing your money. At least your money would be safe. It will be question of growing at 5% or 20%, but at least it will not be in a situation that probably you have invested in a Yes Bank, that whereby you invested at 400 and now the Yes Bank share is trading somewhere close to 25, 13, 40. वो ऊपर नीचे होता है. I don't keep a track, and then but people keep chasing me कि Yes Bank में invest किया था. I said, why should I invest in Yes Bank?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल नहीं, that makes a lot of sense. So summing it up, what you said is कि bet blindly and bet big on all these top notch banks जिन्होंने काफी अच्छी तरह से अपनी lending practices को maintain करके रखा है. And the key pattern that I find between all these banks is they have very good management. So I want to understand from you yourself as a banker कि भाई management क्या role play करती है एक बैंकिंग के इन्वेस्टमेंट थीसिस में?
Just one line, मैनेजमेंट ही सब कुछ करती है. मैनेजमेंट ही सब कुछ करती है. मैनेजमेंट DHFL ने क्या किया, मैनेजमेंट यस बैंक ने क्या किया, मैनेजमेंट मिस्टर पुरी ने क्या किया, मैनेजमेंट चंदा कोचर ने क्या किया, मैनेजमेंट केवी कामत ने क्या किया. एवरीबडी नोज huge amount of difference. When KV Kamath was there, ICICI Bank was number 1 bank, right? As soon as the management changed, SGFC took over, and Mr. Puri almost took SGFC from a close second to almost rank number 1 with a good margin also. Now SGFC is, I think, in market capitalization and altogether a group of companies, SGFC Limited, SGFC AMC is too big for all other financial institution. If you talk about even ICICI also, so management is everything. If your management is good, then everything is good. If your management is not good, then you have seen what has happened with Yes Bank, you have seen what has happened with DHFL, you have seen what has happened with what was that cooperative bank name which have given loan to
PMC.
SDIL, PMC, SDIL. So that was what's happening. Matlab, you can read the stories that in I guess DHFL, Yes Bank or DHFL, Yes Bank. They were a software which was generating lack of fictitious account जहां पर आप lending उनके नाम पे चढ़ा रहे थे, and then the funds were being siphoned off with different
Yes.
and that is one of the more reason that RBI these days is not very keen on giving licenses to big corporates. Everybody is like कि बजाज को license क्यों नहीं मिल रहा? Because Bajaj is a conglomerate with different interests. Though Bajaj, I think, is much better than most of the banks. But since Bajaj has different holdings, also conglomerate है उसका बहुत बड़ा, so that is the reason that probably Bajaj is not getting the license
Okay.
also.
नहीं, सो वहां पे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट हो जाएगा, आई एम अज्यूमिंग, एंड देन वहां पे भी पुअर लेंडिंग प्रैक्टिसेस के इंस्टेंसेस आ सकते हैं व्हिच कैन अगेन सॉर्ट ऑफ इम्पैक्ट आवर इंडियन इकोनॉमी. सो सर, अब मुझे ये बताओ कि 2 मिनट के अंदर अंदर मैं किसी बैंक की मैनेजमेंट को कैसे एनालाइज कर सकूं, बिकॉज मुझे ये समझ आ गया कि मैनेजमेंट इज की हियर. एज यू योरसेल्फ मेंशन्ड, येस बैंक का भी घपला मैनेजमेंट की वजह से, DHFL मैनेजमेंट की वजह से. अगर आज HDFC बैंक इतना अच्छा है, दैट इज ऑल्सो बिकॉज ऑफ मैनेजमेंट, what Aditya Puri did under his tenure. So मैं 1-2 मिनट में मैनेजमेंट का एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग कैसे बना पाऊं एज एन इन्वेस्टर, आप मुझे ये बताओ.
I think it's very difficult to actually go and look into their mind whether that management is good or not. A very few simple basic check would be whether that management is having other interests in different businesses also. You can go and check. Rana Kapoor had multiple businesses. You can go and check. Mr. Vadhavan of DHFL had different interests, and if you go towards different companies also, management ka to, if you talk about banks or other companies also, it's almost a similar role. If you talk about Satyam also, Mr. Raju had different companies incorporated also. So probably a very small check whether that businessman is having different companies also. DIN number से बहुत सारी companies अपने आप ही आ जाती है कि कहाँ का वो director है, वो भी देख लोगे. And specifically, if they have interest in something called real estate infrastructure, I think these are very clear signs कि वहां पर अगर जाना है, interest है, तो कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ होगी. So probably we don't need why would you want to chase 15-20 companies? All we want is कि हमें filter करना है. फिल्टर करने के लिए अगर हमें दिख गया कि से इस बैंक का, इस प्रमोटर का, इस ऐसे सेक्टर में इंटरेस्ट है और कंपनी भी फ्लोटेड है, आई थिंक इट शुड बी अ क्रॉस, बिकॉज हमें अल्टीमेटली सेक्टर में 1 या 2 कंपनी आइडेंटिफाई करनी है. 1 या 2 आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए मुझे 15 को कट करना है. कट करने के लिए छोटा सा प्रिंसिपल गूगल कर लो, समझ में आ जाए तो काट दो, क्योंकि बिकॉज वी हैव सर्टेन 15 अदर पैरामीटर्स आल्सो टू लुक इनटू बैंक्स एंड फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन.
ओके, फाइन. सो यही रहा हमारा क्रक्स कि बहुत ही फोकस्ड अप्रोच होनी चाहिए व्हेन यूर बैंकिंग, क्योंकि अगर आपका फोकस बाकी बिजनेस एंटिटीज पे भी है, हाई चांसेस कि आप पैसे साइफन ऑफ करना शुरू कर दो, एंड इंटेंशनली और अनइंटेंशनली आपकी बैंकिंग ऑपरेशंस को हार्म कर दो, एंड वी एज इन्वेस्टर्स वुड नॉट वांट दैट हैपनिंग. बट आई थिंक यहाँ पे देयर इज sort of an exception of Bajaj Finance, even though Bajaj Finance belongs to the Bajaj Group. But what I have seen is कि Bajaj Finance के जो head है, Rajiv Jain sir, he has been given बिल्कुल separate operations. Even though Bajaj Finance आता ग्रुप के अंडर है, but Bajaj Group का कोई भी influence Bajaj Finance के ऊपर बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. And Rajiv Jain sir को एकदम खुली छूट दी है कि आप ही चलाओगे. And the way that they have demarcated also shows me कि management की integrity है. एंड दिस अगेन पुट फॉर्थ कि हाँ, अगर मैनेजमेंट यहाँ पे सही है, अपने प्रोमोटर होल्डिंग के अंदर होते हुए भी कोई घपला नहीं कर रही, इसका मतलब कुछ तो बात है, एंड वो हमें स्टॉक प्राइस में भी दिखता है.
प्रॉब्लम बजाज फाइनेंस इज बजाज फाइनेंस.
Absolutely, नहीं, बिल्कुल सही. तो I wanted to wrap up this whole conversation asking you about your views on the future outlook of banking. What does banking look like, let's say in 2030? The reason I ask this is because now we have seen a lot of fintechs also coming in. Paytm का भी IPO आने वाला है, which is into payment bank, and वो payment solutions provide करते हैं. Then a lot of these fintechs coming up, a lot of them, right? I just want to understand कि 2030 में जो ये बैंक्स हैं, will they be totally replaced by all these fintechs out there? And छोटे fintechs इनको totally हटा देंगे, और these banks and fintechs will sort of work together to build an economic system for our country, and 2030 में इंडिया इन्हीं के ऊपर एक और भी better economy बन पाएगा. I just want to understand your opinion here.
Okay, so probably I will divide it into two major parts. One thing, banking growth for next 10 years, and then influence of fintech, what is happening in the fintech space. So first part, banking growth, I think still the growth of banking, if you talk about the banking size in India and similar in China, I think the kind of potential Indian industry has for banking, say the kind of growth that probably HDFC, Kotak, Axis, ICICI would be having for next 10 years, provided they have good management, which I know for the bank, most of them have, is pretty huge. I think very easily the consistent compounder that we talk about from Saurabh Mukherjee, HDFC and Kotak would be multiplying themselves every year on year with a good growth of 15-18% of credit growth and all these things, because अभी भी penetration बहुत ज्यादा होनी है. India is a growing country, credit की बहुत requirement है. I think growth potential for banking industry specifically, even if you talk about getting the pie out of those PSUs, is also a very big growth potential. Even if we say that we are saturated, but अभी हमारा share 40 यहाँ पर है और 60 यहाँ पर है, I think the ratio is very much different. 60 यहाँ से 20% ले आएंगे तब भी बहुत बड़ा share है, right? Now comes in the fintech space. Fintech में बहुत कुछ different आ रहा है. Say we have lot many crowdfunding platforms. We have P2P lending. We have platform like Credex, which is pooling the money from say 3 lakhs from you, 4 lakhs from me, 5 lakhs from somebody else, and lending it to businessmen who actually they have bills from different corporates, all digital lending, right? And giving them good rate of interest. Say for a 90-day window, they're giving you ROI of almost close to 10.5%, 11% from a company like Apario also, right? Future retail also. So वहां पर for a 90-day period, if I'm getting that rate of interest, I think it is unparalleled. Only thing that you need to be concerned of is risk. Of course, there is a risk attached, though these companies are saying that nothing bad has happened, but anytime it can happen. If it happens, your money is lost forever. Second, platform like Paisabazaar or say Credmint. Credmint is doing what? They have a huge amount of data, and they know about the spending of what kind of products I am spending on, or my family or your family is spending on. So basis that they are ready to give you a return. Say Kashish wants to invest in Credmint, they will be giving you a ROI of 9-10%, and they would be lending it to different customers with good CIBIL score. That is their basic criteria. 730 से ऊपर का CIBIL score होगा तभी वो lend करेंगे at a ROI of 15-16%. So Kashish ने पैसा दिया क्रेड को, क्रेड ने पैसा दिया कुलभूषण को 16% पे. My concern is, if Kulbhushan is having a good CIBIL of 730, why would I go to Credmint? I would rather be going to a bank, a ICICI bank, which will be giving me a PL of 10-11%. Only thing, if Kulbhushan is not a good customer, but still somehow managing 730 का CIBIL, that is when I will be coming to Credmint. कि मुझे कहीं से नहीं मिल रहा है, मैं 16% पे यहाँ से मिल जाएगा. I am more than happy to take it. So for sure, all these tech platforms, even if they develop product, their lending for sure would be subprime. So I have tried कि Credmint की lending कहाँ पे हो सकती है? New age startups जिनको 4-5 लाख की फंडिंग चाहिए, फाउंडर का सिबिल अच्छा है, स्मॉल किराना स्टोर्स जिनको बैंक रेडिली केटर नहीं कर रहे हैं, business loans, because unsecured loans from the banks are normally they start from 15, they go as high as 24. So वो वाला पाई जो थोड़ा सा खाली रहता है, that is the pie they would be catering to. They would for sure not be catering to a good salaried customer having good CIBIL, not. So वो फर्क रहेगा ही रहेगा. And over the period of time, I think all these fintech platforms would be merging slowly with the banking system, because banking is also involving. Banks are seeing which platform is doing what. Say, giving you an example of Paisabazaar, after getting that, publishing that ad of get your CIBIL checked for free. So you, me, everybody else started checking their CIBIL score. So CIBIL score सबका उनके पास आ गया. But they went to banks. They said कि हमारे पास ये data है, ये इनका CIBIL score है. You give us pre-approved loans. So I know for Delhi market, 3 years back, Yes Bank, relatively a very small bank in Delhi market only, with that pre-approved loan, they were able to lend close to 25 crores. So 25 crores in PL is almost like an income of 2 crore rupees, right? So इतना income सिर्फ दिल्ली की market से pre-approved loans जिन्होंने बैठ के खाली बैठ के अपना सिविल चेक किया था. So that is the kind of discussion they are having. So development
Okay.
होगी, but I think over the period of time they will be merging with banks only. Paytm is a different story. I think you, me, everybody else is using Paytm, right? So phone पे वगैरह बहुत सारे आ गए, but Paytm जैसे it was like Pepsi कि मुंह से Pepsi ही निकलता है, जैसे मुंह से Paytm ही निकलता है कि Paytm करो. I think Paytm, despite all the see, it is a loss-making company, all those things. I think Paytm would be doing better than other companies like Cred and different platforms.
Okay. So what I could make out of this is कि भाई आप अपने प्लेटफॉर्म्स बना लो, आप छोटे छोटे अपने टारगेट कस्टमर्स को भी पकड़ लो, बट यू कांट ऑपरेट without having क्या बोलते support from these banks, because these banks have been
Yes.
writing loans for past 30 years and उनके पास कुछ तो एक्सपीरियंस है जो आप अचानक से आके एक टेक प्लेटफॉर्म बना के नहीं कर सकते. You need that banking mind.
For sure.
And it's
For
not
sure.
a cup of tea of all these engineers जो code लिखते हैं and they can just make a platform. And this does make a lot of sense because banking is something that requires a lot of intelligence, which is probably why आज इंडिया में सिर्फ 2 ही 3 ऐसे बैंक्स हैं जिन्होंने genuinely अच्छी wealth create की है अपने investors के लिए. So I thank you a lot, Kulbhushan sir, for giving your time and wonderful discussion covering a lot of topics, banking, fintech, whatnot. Now, before I let you go, I want to give you the opportunity to hand off about where can my audience find you, where can they learn more about you. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. So whosoever is still listening to me on Kashish YouTube channel, I also have a YouTube channel by the name of 360 Degree Finance. I am present on LinkedIn by name Kulbhushan Sharma, and then I'm in a stealth mode on developing some certain products. So LinkedIn is the best platform. You can probably follow me. I'm not there on FB and Insta. I think that is a waste of time for me. Every time I log on to Insta, so I started scrolling. So it's almost been a year that I've stopped. I have deleted the apps of Insta and FB. So LinkedIn is my Facebook. You will be finding me on LinkedIn and YouTube 360 Degree Finance, and probably I share my views on different products and what is happening in financial markets over there.
Fine. I'll make sure I'll put all the links that you mentioned down in the description so that in case anybody is interested in reaching out to you, learning more about banking, they can directly reach out to you and just make the most of it. Thank you so much, Kulbhushan sir, once again. This is it. All things compounding.